This ain't left or right. This is right now. OVC. Teachers shaping minds. Vets who stood strong. Gig workers hustling just to get along. Parents, elders, first-time voters in line. Same clock ticking, same moment in time. No dark money whispers. No backroom deals. Daylight choices and the truth that's real. Labels don't own us. We bigger than signs. Accountability lives where democracy thrives.
Our vote counts. Yeah, remember the name. Every voice heard. We don't play no games. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we found. Our vote counts. Stand tall, no doubt. Integrity first. Let the people speak loud. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we
Clear
found.
facts, no spin. Education unlocked. Breaking down the process from the door to the box. Who earns the trust? Who shows up to serve? Asking the questions. Leaders got nerves. Neighborhoods talking. Town halls packed. Local voices first. Yeah, we built it like that. Different faiths, views, so walking as one. Democracy stronger when we all get it done. Yeah.
Our vote counts, yeah, remember the name. Every voice heard. We don't play no games. From coast to coast, let the movement expand. Power in the people, future in our hands. Our vote counts, stand tall, no doubt. When we show up informed, that's what it's all about. Our vote counts, stand tall, no doubt. When we show up informed, that's what it's all about.
This ain't no cycle. Nah, this is a standard. Long-term vision. Principles planned from schools to the boards up to the higher seats. We connect the dots from the block to the streets. Peaceful power, respect and demand. Integrity measured by actions, not plans. OVC active, participation mounts. When the people stand ready, turnout counts. Yeah.
Our vote counts, yeah, remember the name. Every voice heard. We don't play no games. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we found. Our vote counts, stand tall, no doubt. Integrity first. Let the people speak loud. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we found.
Every voice,
Every voice,
every vote.
every vote.
Integrity, inclusion, accountability. OVC.
OVC.
Yeah. 2026. My vote counts. And so does yours.
What's up, people? Put my microphone on. Send my daily heart, man. Let's see. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Guys, I have been, it's Ramadan. So I've been playing it safe on the interwebs. And listen, I've been watching videos of cute kids and animals. And I came across this, for some reason the internet is obsessed with this monkey called Punchy or Punch or whatever. Anyway, this little monkey was rejected by his mom at birth, right? And they gotta have something to cling to, something to protect them from the other monkeys, something to bond with when they're born. So he didn't have anything. Or is it a she? I think it's a he. Anyway, the zoo that the monkey is at in Japan, gave him a little stuffy, a stuffed toy monkey. And he plays with it. But he also got attached to his handler, like just the zookeeper who brings them the food and gives them snacks or whatever and makes sure they are cooperating with each other. Whenever the handler comes out, whenever the zookeeper comes out, he latches on to his leg and then he climbs up. It's the cutest thing. Y'all got to find this. I know now that I've mentioned it, it's going to pop up in your feed. It's going to be all over your social media. It's the cutest thing. And I didn't know that I could absorb so much cuteness into my cells, into my human cell, body cells, you know? But I did. And it just brings tears to my eyes to see this little minky. But now the other monkeys are starting to accept him versus before when they were beating him up, which was just sad to see. They were like tossing him around, which is very awful to see. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that hostility, especially a little baby minky. And so now they've accepted him. And one of them was seen carrying him around and letting him cling to her. And it's just it's really nice. But it's an indictment on society, really, right? When you're an outsider, you have to find somebody, some tribe to belong to, and you have a hard time fitting into what you think should be your tribe. And so you got to make your own tribe. You got to make your own family. You got to find your own people. You know, oh, thank you for the butterfly. You got to find your own people. And when you do, you just fall in naturally and you're accepted. And you're being yourself. You don't even care if them other monkeys don't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? You don't even be caring. So if you're here with us tonight, and I'm glad that you are, please send out this on repost and on add. Bring the candidate up in a minute on add to story. And also spam it out to your followers. Let them know that we have a candidate here from Iowa, Annie Craven. Come on up, Annie. No, that's, what is that? That's Family Feud. What's Price is Right? What's the Price is Right music? That's the music that I meant to that I meant to sing. I don't even know.
There we go.
Hello. Hey, do you
Hi,
have the
I'm
background?
sorry. I'm kind of a boomer when it comes to TikTok. So hello, everyone.
First of all, all of you people who come up here have that same excuse. I ain't buying it because we have walked you all through these steps to put the background on, turn the camera on. You can do it. I believe in you, and I'm going to show you how to do it.
Okay, that'd be great.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
I am so ready.
Okay, you're going to click on your very own face. Just hit your face. Okay, you see where it says, you see camera, microphone, all that good stuff?
All the things.
It says enhance and it says effects.
Yes.
You're going to click on effects.
Okay.
Right? And you're going to scroll all the way over. You see the words changing? You're going to scroll all the way over to green screen.
Green screen. Hold on. That looks promising. Okay.
Okay, and you're going to choose the one that has the arrow that makes it look like how mine looks with the checkers.
Yes. Okay. I'm there.
And then you're going to go back up a little bit where you see the plus sign and you see probably the memes that you have saved in your.
Yep. Oh, shoot. The audio cut out when I did that. Hold on. Okay, sorry, you cut out. Can you?
Oh, I'm
can
sorry.
You hear
I
me
said
now?
you're going probably where you see the memes that you have saved in your phone, right? You're going to click that plus sign,
yes,
and then you're going to just scroll through until you find the background that we sent you that we made for you.
Okay.
There you go. Well, no, that's not it. But
Well, that's the one that I got sent. So I don't know if there's another one.
There's another one, but that's okay because it does have
Okay.
your name on it and it has the office that
It
you're running
does.
for. So it's okay.
Hello.
It's fine.
Okay.
We're just gonna go with it. We're gonna roll. Because we also have this graphic up here. We just want people to know when they're passing by that we are
Yes.
talking to Annie Craven, who's running for the Iowa House of Representatives. We want people to know that we're doing a town hall, just so we catch their attention, right? And so in
Yeah.
case
No,
if
it makes
somebody,
sense to me.
if somebody, rings your doorbell or something, we don't have to see them in the background. We don't have to see the pizza being delivered in the background. So,
God, if only. I was just eating pretzel sticks before this.
I prefer to get ready with a handful of Skittles myself, but
Fair.
that's
I
just
am a
me.
Skittles fan, but today it was a Doritos and pretzel sticks kind of day for me.
Ooh, what
So
kind of Doritos do you like?
I just like the OG nacho cheese Doritos. I know it's
Really?
boring, but that's where I'm at. Yep.
No, that's okay. I like the purple bag. I'm a purple
Oh,
bag
sure,
Dorito
sure.
kind of girl. But I
Yeah.
hear that there's a naked Dorito that's
Oh.
just it's less cheese. It's less cheese on it, powder cheese rather. But
I don't
it's
know how
still
I
like
feel about that. I like the ones that are basically like coat your entire
Oh,
hands with
yes.
the powder cheese. So
Right.
I don't know if
Like
I'd
you
be
can
down
lick
for
the
that.
cheese off and it's on your. Listen, you ain't got to tell me. Okay. I want my dyes, please. I want the dyes. I want the
Yes.
perfume.
All the artificial
I want
dyes
the
on my
scent.
Doritos for
I want-
sure.
I want to sniff the chip and I want to smell powdered cheese. Okay?
You wafted it into your
Yes.
nose. Exactly. Yes.
When you open the bag and yes, that's what we like here at Our Vote Counts. Okay, we like.
Well,
cheese.
we are definitely on the same page.
Okay. Now that we've gotten that out of our system. Hi, my
Yes.
name is Ayana. How are you? I'm going to do a little background for the people who are here. If you are in the audience and you like what you hear or you have questions, you can send a question to the chat, leave it in the chat and I'll read it. Or you can hit the multi-guest and come up and ask Annie your question. Also, please do hit the likes. Get us up to the however many likes. We do really well with the likes because we get a lot of support. Also, repost this, share it to your story. Annie, have you shared this to your story? Have you reposted it? Have you spammed your followers? Do the people know you are here, Annie?
All of the people know that I'm here. I spammed them yesterday and today and about 10 minutes ago. So yes.
And they're like, what is TikTok? We don't know what that is.
Yep, exactly. They're
But
like, I don't know about all that.
Listen. I told somebody just download TikTok so you can watch me do this one time and then you can delete it and you never have to come back. But
Yeah. I mean,
so-
I do have TikTok. I'm just not very good at it yet because I never got on the TikTok train until I was running. So I had to. And now I'm learning how to TikTok, I guess.
Well, when you run for office, nowadays you got to meet people where they're at. If it's the Walmart
Exactly.
or the Kroger's
Yep.
or the Pennies or the Macy's or the TikTok, you got to meet people where they are.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. So everywhere all at once is my goal.
So you are here and I am here. We are OVC, Our Vote Counts. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and thems and theys, we are speaking with Annie Craven, who is a candidate for Iowa State House race in District 46. She's a Dem candidate. We'll be talking about her background, her vision for the state and district, and of course, taking your questions live because we love to talk to y'all. And y'all love to talk to us. You do. I've been here before. Our Vote Counts is a nonpartisan coalition of citizens from diverse states and backgrounds. I'm in Ohio, by the way, united by a shared commitment to empowering voters and promoting candidates who stand for integrity, inclusion, and accountability in the upcoming elections. Formed by a collective of educators, veterans, small business owners, students, and community advocates. Our Vote Counts represents the strength of unity across geography, race, and ideology. Our Vote Counts is more than a name. It is a promise, a movement, and a rallying cry for democracy. Together, we are shaping the future, one informed vote at a time. We thank you for joining us. Let's get into it. Okay, a little bit about your district. There are, you are located in the Des Moines western suburbs, and your district includes parts of Dallas County and a part of Polk County. And how do we know this? Annie, I have a surprise for you, Annie.
Okay.
We had one of your competitors on here a couple weeks ago.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
All right.
You know, what's her name? Erin,
Erin Helliso. Yes.
Yes, Erin
absolutely.
Helliso. Yes. So I'm Iowa down, honey. I know all about Iowa now.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Outside of Iowa expert. Okay.
Right.
Population of your district is 30,000 to 35,000 residents. It's a fast-growing suburban Des Moines metro district. A lot of white people. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's just what
Iowa in general is a lot of white people.
Iowa in general.
Unfortunately.
But you yourself, you were born and raised in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Your online presence, if people want to find you, is cravenforchange.com.
Yes.
And that your website describes you as having a desire to improve public service and attract families and opportunities to the state, which is very important. I hear people are leaving. Why y'all want to do that?
Yes, we have horrible economic growth, and we're the only Midwest state to have almost no population growth in the last couple of years. So a lot of our neighboring states have doubled in size as far as population, and we're just sitting. So
People, move to Iowa,
Yeah.
raise some cattle or something, get a farm. You can grow pickles or cucumbers or whatever people do on farms. I don't know. I'm a city girl.
Sure. Why not? I've never lived on a farm, so we grow a lot of corn and soybeans, but yeah.
The district is currently represented by, I don't think I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but Dan Gelbach.
You did it right, yes.
Oh, yay!
Good job.
He is the Republican incumbent, and you want to beat him. You want to beat him down
I
into
do.
the ground. You want him out. You
Yes,
want him.
I do.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Okay, so an icebreaker, just to break, although I feel like we've broken the ice. District 46 is one of the fastest growing areas of Iowa. Families are moving in, schools are expanding, but the property taxes are rising, unfortunately.
Yes.
Would you knock on doors in Urbandale or Grimes? I said, oh no, when you knock on doors. When you
There we
not
go.
will you, because I know you have. I've seen your
I have,
social
yes.
media. When you knock on the doors in the cities of your district, what's the one concern you hear most consistently, and also what has surprised you?
So I would say that the one that I hear the most is actually education, because our state has an interesting voucher program that has siphoned almost $1 billion out of our public schools, and this coming fiscal year is set to take an additional $350 million out of our public school systems.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're having to cut staff and extracurricular activities. Boone, which is not in my district, but they had a 100-year-old orchestra program that they had to cut this year due to lack of funding.
Oh no.
Yeah.
As a very, 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 very former clarinet player, that makes me very sad.
Yes. As a former choir kid, it broke my heart to hear about that. So
Annie, District 46 has leaned Republican in recent cycles. What has
Yes.
changed in the district that makes you believe voters are ready for a different direction, but particularly you? Not just a different
Yes.
direction, but you. What makes you think they want you, girl?
so that's a great question. So people are fed up. I'm just gonna tell it like it is, because that's the kind of person that I am.
Yes, we like that.
People are pissed off. Property taxes are really high. People don't feel like they're getting anything for their money. Our government budget is in a deficit, so they're dipping into the rainy day fund to fund stuff that we don't want or need. and then cutting programs that we do want and need. So people feel like their tax dollars aren't going to anything that benefits them. And I can't blame them for feeling like that, because I feel like that as well. And, I think that I am essentially the polar opposite of the current representative in our district. He is a straight white Christian male who decided to publicly out his daughter to get sympathy points to get the nomination in the first place, which as a queer woman, I think is super gross. Yeah. Not a fan of that. To say the very, very least.
Yeah.
So, I'm young, I'm queer, I'm here. I actually listen to people when they talk to me. I don't answer questions with "it's really complicated" or "I haven't read the bill," which is kind of what he likes to do. I've talked to other representatives who are on subcommittees with him, and they say he has either fundamental misunderstandings of what the legislation is supposed to be for, or he doesn't read the bills and just makes himself look kind of dumb, which is none of my business. That's just what I hear.
If that's the look he wants to go for, you know what? Maybe he's born with it. Maybe he's born.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Who can say?
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah, exactly. So I know people want something different, and I am definitely something different. I am an outspoken progressive. Call me a radical, but I don't think that it's radical to want to make sure that every person who lives in my state makes enough money to pay their rent and their gas and have health care. And if that makes me a radical, then call me a radical. Because that, unfortunately, is not what our legislature is doing right now.
So give me a little bit about your background. I didn't skip that part, y'all. I'm going to ask her about herself. Okay, give me a little bit about your background. What is Annie all about?
Yeah, so my background is a little interesting. So I was actually raised as a traditional Catholic school homeschool kid. My mother is a Catholic convert. She converted to Catholicism at age 18. So she is extremely into the religion, which is great for her. But it was it was an interesting way to grow up. I didn't have a lot of structure. I loved to read, and I think that has really suited me in later life because it's enabled me to be able to catch up educationally with my peers when I went to a regular school. I went to Dowling Catholic High School, which is a prominent private school in the Des Moines metro area. They're known for, high test scores and educational rigor and things like that. So I attribute my love of reading to being able to do moderately well in school. I'm terrible at math. I will tell you that. I always have someone, double check my work.
Google
far as
does
that goes.
math, by the way. You can Google.
Google does do math. Yes, Google does math, and my treasurer also does math, and I am eternally grateful to her. But more about my background. So like I said, I was a choir kid. I was in Iowa Youth Chorus, formerly known as Des Moines Children's Choruses. We were an internationally competitive youth choir. So I actually got to go to the Choir Olympics, which is a thing.
Wait a minute.
when I was in 8th grade, I went to Bremen, Germany, and I competed in the Choir Olympics in 2 categories, and my choir finished 4th and 9th. So against adult choirs. So that was very cool for
adult.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. I competed against adult choirs at the age of 13. I was the 3rd youngest person in the choir. My younger sister was in 6th grade, and my best friend was 6 months younger than me. So we were between the ages of 11 and 18, and we competed against adult choirs. Yep.
So you went from singing in the choir to what the heck, I'll run for office.
Yeah. So once I graduated from high school, I actually did choir for an additional year because we were supposed to tour to South Africa. But because of unbonded insurance claims and bankruptcy, we didn't get to do that because our tour company went bankrupt and didn't have bonded insurance. So we all lost a lot of money, which was heartbreaking, and we didn't get to go to South Africa, which is more heartbreaking. Yeah, I'm
it's still there. If you want to go, it's still there.
That is so true. If only I had the money to go to South Africa, I
right,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, but from there, I went to community college. So I went to Des Moines Area Community College. I majored in fashion design and marketing. I found a love of interior design with that degree. So I got a sorry, my cat is playing with my tripod.
Listen,
buddy.
We at OVC
Hold on.
love the animals, okay? We love the animals.
The cat text. This is Nico.
Oh, hello. That's a little, that's a lion. That's a little baby cub.
Yeah, he's a big boy. So I found a love in interior design, so I got a certificate in that and retail management, because when I was in college, I worked in retail, so that was interesting to me. My husband's on the chat, and he
job
said,
is
Nico.
Oh, Ryan is your husband?
Cat.
Oh,
yeah.
Hi, Ryan. Tap the screen, Ryan.
So I graduated in 2012. I lived in downtown Des Moines when I had my first grown-up job, where I was a temp doing data entry for $10 an hour with no benefits, no PTO, and not a full-time work schedule, because they had so little work for us to do that if we got like 30 hours, that was a good week. So I was making less than $400 a week in that job.
Wow.
Yeah. So the struggle can be very real. And I also lived with my sister and her 1-year-old nephew all the way through college, where I was working part-time at Bath and Body Works. So that is how I handled all of my expenses, with, of course, the addition of student loans, which I'm very happy to have paid off, but I still ended up owing about, with interest, $15,000 for a community college education, which I think is outrageous.
Listen, that pales into comparison. Pales in comparison to what the kids are facing now.
It's so like
it's crazy now.
Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loans is beyond outrageous.
It is.
It's criminal. It is absolutely not okay, because I mean, in case you guys haven't realized, I'm a millennial. I'm 36 years old. I was born in 1989, like Taylor Swift. So my entire generation
you just had to bring up Taylor Swift.
I'm a white millennial woman. Of course I love Taylor Swift. It is what it is. So my entire generation was sold a false bill of goods of, if you work hard and you go to college and you take out all of these loans, it's going to be fine, because you're going to have a lucrative career and you'll be able to pay them back right away, and it's going to be great. And you know how many people that I knew that was true for? One person.
They're still
my
selling
ex-husband.
That.
My ex-husband who is an actuary, which I don't know if you guys know what an actuary is, but they work for insurance companies and they make buku bucks running statistical analysis to figure out what to charge you for your premiums. So that's what he does for a living. And he was able to pay off his student loans in 1 year.
Wow.
Going to a private college.
Wow.
Yeah. He makes 6 figures now, but that's none of my business. He's my ex. So
can we talk about economic development? Because I feel like that's something.
Yes.
If I asked you what was broken in Iowa that your the incumbent is not fixing, I think you might say it's the $1.6 billion debt.
You did your homework. Yes. The $1.6 billion deficit we have in our budget, which we are currently supplementing with our $9 billion rainy day fund, which is now at about $7 billion. And yet we are continuing to cut taxes for the wealthy and increase property taxes for working people. That's going to solve our problems.
That's not going to solve anything.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't rain. I hope it's not raining in Iowa. Like,
I know. They said that we were going to save this rainy day fund for when it actually matters, but that doesn't seem to be what we're actually doing with it. We here in Iowa adhere to the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour since 2009.
Oh no.
Yup.
No.
And nowhere in Iowa, even in the smallest of small towns, could you live on $7.25 an hour.
No, you can't live
it's just
anywhere.
not.
Unless you're
You
that's
can't.
like a teenager, 14, 15 years old, you're making 7.20. Even that's criminal, right?
Yeah, and actually, when I was 16, my first job was at Cold Stone Creamery, and it was before the minimum wage was raised, and I made $5.15 an hour.
Oh,
yeah.
Dave and ice cream. That's at least a $10 an hour job. I'm serious.
And it gave me carpal tunnel in both wrists. Yes. I should have got workers' comp.
And then the line is always out the door because people want their mixins and fixins. And
the worst was that we were in a food court in a mall that had a movie theater attached to it. So they would make us stay, the owners would make us stay open until the last movie got out, even though we were supposed to close at 9. So we'd still have people in line at like 11:30 p.m. on a Saturday making their ice cream.
$5 an hour. Oh.
Yep.
I'm sorry to say it has not gotten better.
It has not. And the prices sure aren't what they were in 2006. I can tell you that for free.
You want even a pint of ice? Just a Haagen-Dazs pint.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
$7, $8, $9.
Exactly. Yeah.
You ain't got to tell me.
They're like $7.99 at Target for like this much ice cream. It's crazy. Yeah.
What are we talking?
How's anyone supposed to live on that?
They tell us, like you said, go to college, you'll graduate, and you'll have this great job where you can, save up enough money to buy a house and move into the house, get married, have kids, have a dog, get the fence and the 2-car garage. And that is just not the case in many states in the United States.
Yes, and it is not a reality for more people than it is. I will say I am extremely lucky. Me and my husband don't make amazing money, but we do okay. So we were able to buy a townhouse in Urbandale, just a 2-bedroom townhouse, nothing fancy, in 2019. Because we're financial wizards, so we bought it before COVID happened,
right?
Which was totally intentional. We would not be able to buy it now if we were looking.
You know what, Ryan? Listen, Ryan, if you want to come up here and be a part of the conversation, you are welcome to do so. We can make this a 3-way. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
He prefers to live in the background, but I'm sure he appreciates your invitation.
So, okay, what would you push for at the State House to help working families in your district get ahead? What's your plan?
So, the first thing that I would want to do is implement draft legislation, we'll say, because I can't implement. I'm not a dictator and I don't want to be one. But I would introduce legislation to raise the minimum wage in Iowa to at minimum a $20 an hour wage, because that is at a minimum what you can live on. I only make a little bit more than that. And, some months it's, we're hitting low numbers in that checking account. So I can't imagine, a family of 4 even with, if it even exists anymore, with one adult working, being able to make it work on anything less than that. And even that would still be a struggle. But I don't think that, the legislature is ready to do anything beyond that right now. The Democrats in the legislature in Iowa are trying to get a $15 an hour minimum passed that's tied to inflation, which is great, but I don't think that it's enough. I think we need 20 or 22 and tie that to inflation, so that way we're not still behind. And then they're like, well, it's tied to inflation, we don't need to do anything about it now. So
if you're in a place like Iowa and you have a lot of small businesses, do you think that
Yes.
these small businesses can handle raising a minimum wage raise to $20 an hour, or do you think they'll be pushing back like, if you do that, I'm going to be put out of business?
Yeah, no, so that's a legitimate concern because a lot of small businesses, especially if you look at, the restaurant industry, places that have very small margins, that might be tough. But I think that we could implement a plan to raise the minimum wage while also giving, aid or tax breaks to actual small businesses, not multi-billion dollar corporations,
Yes.
so that they can pay their workers fairly and still be able to have a successful business. So I think there are ways to help small businesses be able to still be able to pay their employees a livable wage while they can still afford to stay in business.
Okay, I like that response. So the young people are fleeing the state. What's your plan to bring more good paying jobs into your district so they can build a future right there instead of moving away?
Yeah. So I think that, like I was saying, I think small businesses are really important. I think that there can be a lack of opportunity, especially in places like my district. The makeup of my district is about half, 50, 60% suburban, which has pretty, it's growing on its, like Grimes is one of the fastest growing areas in Iowa. But the more rural parts of my district, there's like Granger, Woodward, Bowden, which is a town of 200 people. They don't have that same growth that we're seeing in suburban areas that are closer to the Des Moines metro. So I think it's important, one, for farmers in those areas to be able to have diversification options, because we see so much business being moved to South America, in Brazil and Argentina for things like soybeans and corn, which are the main things that we grow here in Iowa. And I don't see those coming back, unfortunately. With the way our national politics has gone, we've kind of shown that we can't be trusted to our word. So I don't blame places like China for saying, I don't want to deal with you anymore, because every 4 years you could be doing something different. So I think that if we gave, especially farmers, and also being able to recruit young farmers. I was actually at the Iowa Farmers Union Day on the Hill a couple weeks ago, and only I think it was 5% of farmland is owned by people under 40. So the next generation of farming is really dying because small family farms are going bankrupt and then being bought out by huge agricultural companies. So being able to bring the opportunity back to local farmers, have them be able to grow other types of crop like edible food for people instead of animal feed, or legalizing marijuana, which is also a policy that I am running on.
Because Ayana's ghost, you can't say that word on TikTok. Wait,
the devil's lettuce. So, obviously there's going to be an investment there that needs to be funded by the state, because, changing up your crop makeup and buying different equipment and seeds and being able to, grow and mass different kinds of crops takes money that our local farmers don't have. So I think we really need to be investing in our local farms and our small businesses in general to make sure that they actually have the opportunity to be successful and to grow, as opposed to just giving huge tax breaks to multinational corporations that honestly have no business here, are not creating jobs, and are destroying our ecosystem.
So do the kids want to be farmers though? Do they want to do the farming?
Some do.
People
Some
ask
do.
kids, hey kids, do you want to farm?
It was never my dream, but I do know a lot of young people who grew up on family farms or like generational farming, and they are interested, but it's just not feasible for them to be able to do it because of the cost and because their family farms are going bankrupt.
Yeah, they're going bankrupt.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Because I read that story just a couple days ago that said that farmers aren't able to keep their farms because their kids don't want them, but it's because of the cost. And it's not lucrative like maybe it was in the I don't know. When was it lucrative? 40s, 50s, 60s maybe?
I mean, it was still even lucrative to some extent in the 90s and early 2000s. Like it's really it's really having these huge like trade agreements move to other countries is horrifically backfiring on Midwest farmers, but Iowa farmers especially, since our largest exports have been trade agreements with China, and China doesn't want to deal with us anymore.
And you would think, knowing that, the people of the state would go, who keeps trying to put our farms out of business? Maybe we want to vote the opposite of those people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Speaking of the ecosystem, your district has had more flooding and extreme weather. Well, the state really over the past few years. What would you actually push for at the State House to help your district fix drainage, roads, and bridges so your communities aren't constantly dealing with damage and repairs? And I hear you also, before you answer that, I hear you also have an issue with runoff from the farms.
Yes.
We can talk about that too.
Yes. So quick little anecdote before I answer your question. It's related, I swear. But if anyone heard about the derecho that Iowa had, which is a land hurricane in 2020, that happened on my 31st birthday.
Oh, I hope you weren't doing anything special that day.
No, it was a COVID birthday. So like I went and got coffee and then drove around to look at all of the downed 100-year-old trees.
Oh.
Yeah. It was kind of a sad birthday. But to answer your question about what I would want to do to help mitigate things like flooding and the damage that natural disasters do, because obviously we can't prevent natural disasters.
No, you
can't.
And
thanks to climate change, they're only going to get worse. So the only things that we can do are be proactive with, building codes and how we create infrastructure to make sure that we're keeping things like flooding and extreme high winds and tornadoes and hail and all of the very fun things that Iowans get to deal with our weather, so that they're not horribly impacting people when these events come around. Another anecdote. So in 1993, I know, I was 4 years old, but there was a horrible flood. It's still referred to as the flood of 93. If you say that anywhere in Iowa, everyone will know what you were talking about. And like even though I was little,
the neck on the hair stand up. The hair on the neck. Right.
So I still remember we were putting like plastic trash cans outside to get rainwater. We had to drive to other family members' houses to shower because we had no running water. We didn't have power for a while. We had to go live with my grandparents for like a week and a half in their house that I'm pretty sure was haunted. At least the room I was sleeping in was. And I don't think that anyone should have to go through that. And even if you're looking at the derecho, like my sister had to have her roof replaced because of the derecho, and it was like a 5-year-old roof. Like, because we not only the derecho, but like high winds in general are a thing that happen in Iowa all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever it's tornado season, we get hail in the winter. We get those nice polar vortexes that come in and freeze everything and make people lose power, and it's just horrible. So sorry, I have ADD, so I kind of go off on tangents,
it's okay. Your ADD
but yeah, so
speaks to my ADHD. We're communicating very well.
We are family here in our neurodivergence. But yeah, so I think we really need to be not only investing in our public infrastructure, but also, doing better regulations for our building codes in housing, in how we're, most of the new, electrical wires and things like that are underground, but we still have many that are above ground because it's expensive to, change that. Yeah. And just so many things that it's not like we need to do this huge master plan of how we're going to change everything. It's just like, we just need to do this better and smarter. So that way, when these horrific natural disasters come around, we can be better prepared. And I think having preparedness is the most important thing when we're looking at these types of disasters, especially as we know they're going to get exponentially worse with climate change.
Well, you would first have to believe that climate change is real.
Yes.
Then follow the steps from there. So, but you got to get to that point A.
Yes.
But so talk to me about the water that you can't drink without a filter.
Yes.
What's going on?
So our water quality is horrendous. Last summer, it actually got so bad that the water treatment facilities could not filter out nitrates to a sufficient level to make tap water drinkable. And right now, it's winter. So typically our nitrate levels are better in the winter because we're, not getting as much runoff from farmland because it's all frozen. Our nitrate facilities are running at full capacity in the middle of winter.
Wow, what's happening?
So one of the biggest things, and this is actually something I just learned recently, because when you run for office, you learn all sorts of new things about, problems that exist, but you don't know all the nitty gritties of.
Right.
So something that I learned very recently was that farmers in Iowa will put pesticides on their farmland in the fall for the crops that they plant in the spring.
Oh.
And they do this because it's a lot cheaper to do it that way, because they can get the fertilizer and the pesticides and everything at a discount right before winter. So that's when they put in the fertilizer and they put in the pesticides, and then all of that throughout the fall runs off into the waterways. So when spring comes around, it's still on the land, but so much of it has gone into the water. Yep.
Let me just give me a...
Yep.
Because what are we doing?
So that's a question I ask myself every single day.
Oh my gosh. So they might be saving money, but then the nitrate filtering plant can't filter out enough of the nitrates for the water to be drinkable. So you all still can't drink your water. But the farmers are saving money on a farm that's nearly bankrupt anyway. So what?
Yeah, exactly.
What you gonna do about it?
That is my answer.
What you gonna do about it?
Yes. So, one suggestion that I heard when I learned about this that I thought sounded very promising was to tax fertilizers and pesticides an additional, percent or dollar amount in the fall to make it disadvantageous to be putting that on the croplands in the fall. So not making it illegal, but making it cost more. Because when you make things that are bad inconvenient and doing the right thing more convenient, you can kind of have people go the path of least resistance that's cheaper and also better for the
Well,
environment.
that makes sense because it costs your district more to have to filter out the nitrates rather. And so
Yes.
somebody's got to make up that money.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to say it, well, it's going to be the farmers, but they're the reason why.
Yeah.
So,
And the thing of it is that so much of our farmland is from large agricultural companies now because they're buying it all up at a discount
they
as
can afford
our
it.
local farmers go bankrupt.
Yeah.
So they're interested in their bottom line. So what we need to do to get actual change, because we all know that lobbyists are going to lobby, and grifters are going to grift, and big money is going to big money. So it's not going to necessarily in the immediate future going to be something where we can say we're going to regulate it so you can't do this, because telling people that they can't do something is pretty unpopular and
But
faces
making
a
it
lot of backlash.
expensive to do.
But making
to
it
do
expensive and making it affect the bottom line tends to work a little bit better.
Okay, that sounds like a politician to me. You are hired, Annie. I have no
Thank
stake in the
you.
game,
Thank you.
but if it were up to me. So let's before we get into the juicy part, the juicy part being the
Yeah.
school vouchers. I
Yes.
want to ask you about these property taxes. What is
Yes.
going on? What? Okay, they're rising. In Ohio where I live at, it's ridiculous. Somebody was breaking it down for me what I pay, and I just wanted to cry because it doesn't make sense. I know my house. I know where I live. It does not make sense. What specific changes to Iowa's property tax structure would you support, and how would you prevent shifting the burden to local governments?
Yeah, so property taxes are definitely a complex issue because all at once you need to balance the burden on taxpayers because, they're paying sales tax and gas tax and income tax and all of the taxes in addition to their property taxes, and also local governments, because the majority of their budgets for our school districts and our local governments, our firefighters, our EMT services, our libraries, all of those social services come out of property taxes. So it's hard to say, we don't have enough money to fund our local governments, so we're going to raise property taxes, because people are like, well, my property values didn't rise, or I've paid off my house and I've lived here for 50 years and now you're making it so I can't afford to live in the house that I own because my property taxes are so high. So it's definitely not a cut and dry issue where I can just say, we're going to lower everyone's property taxes, because we still need them. And our local governments are currently working on shoestring budgets because they're not getting as much state funding as they have been. So it's frustrating on all sides and it's complicated. But I think that what we need to do, and I don't have a concrete answer for exactly how I would handle this. But what I would say is that we need to look at how we're funding local governments and their social services and schools and public transit and all of the things, and then see in our state budget where we are putting money that could be allocated back to those local governments so that we don't have to raise property taxes so high. And actually that segues nicely into school vouchers, because that's one of the big ones.
I was going to say, what if we appeal to the federal government to fund public education better so that local communities wouldn't have to lean on property owners to do that?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm funding my public schools. You're funding your public schools. Is the state funding the public schools? Is the federal government funding it? Not as well as they could. Not as well as they could. Yeah.
Yes.
And so let's talk about these vouchers. Iowa has
Yes.
expanded the education savings accounts, the school vouchers.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a little thing you had with your opponent about these
Yes.
school vouchers.
Yes, we had a little back and forth.
Had
We
a little
did,
back and
yes.
forth. That's healthy. That's a healthy debate, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. I think it's okay to disagree. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about them. Let the people know what these things are and why you are for, against. You think it should be be scrapped, reformed, or what's your position?
Yeah. So the TLDR of the Iowa school vouchers is that they were enacted in 2022 as under the guise of school choice for parents, which and I when you look at bills in general and legislation and things like that, sometimes the headline looks pretty reasonable. But then when you go down, it's actually kind of bonkers, which is what this is. So school choice, great. Yeah, parents should have the right to decide how their kids should be educated. I don't think that, anyone is staunchly against that, except maybe in extreme circumstances. But, that's another story for another day. So basically, when they were enacted, they did have an income cap, and I think I'm trying to remember the numbers off the top of my head, so forgive me if they're not 100%, but basically the cap for a family of 4 when they were enacted was a median of $104,000 a year, and the median income for a family of 4 in Iowa is $94,000 a year. So already at their inception, they're not excluding a lot.
No.
Yeah. So every year since then, they raised the income cap. And then this school year, for the 2025-2026 school year, there was no cap on income. So if you're a lawyer making $1 million a year, or if you're a doctor making $500,000 a year and you are always sending your kids to public school or to private school, then you now get, north of $7,500 a year to aid you in sending your kid to a private school that you are going to send them to anyway.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. And so and it's hard to put a lot of facts on this because there is currently they actually, and by they, I mean the legislature and the governor, have limited the power of our state auditor so that he can't audit school voucher funds. So what the schools use them for, who's getting them.
That's public money.
It's public money, and he's not allowed to audit it. So
what planet is Iowa on? What planet is this on?
Planet America? I don't know. That's its own planet, right? It feels like it sometimes.
It feels like it sometimes. This is bananas.
Yes.
Bananas.
So, but in addition to essentially just handing out free money for private schools in these voucher programs, it's also accessible to people who homeschool, which I was homeschooled when I was a kid. I can tell you that my curriculum did not cost that much for my parents to order. But if you don't spend it all, you have other things that you can spend it on, like tutoring programs, which again, on its face, not horrible. Just as an aside, completely apropos to nothing, my Republican incumbent does own a mathnasium tutoring company.
Oh, okay. All right.
And he is also on the Education Appropriation Subcommittee, and he is the chair.
And 2 + 2 = 4, honey. Listen.
It sure does.
That mathnasium costs a lot of money. It is expensive.
Yes.
I have a daughter that
Yes.
I tried to get into but mommy couldn't afford it. It's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. And on top
Wow.
of that, our private schools are raising tuition conspicuously about the same amount as the vouchers give parents. So it's not even like giving a discount to lower income families so that they can send their kids to private school, which is the guise of why
That's
this
the
is a good
guide,
thing.
yeah.
But again, 70 to 80% of the kids that are using the vouchers to go to private school have never gone to a public school. So who's it really helping?
Well, now no one really.
Nobody. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess
And-
if you had maybe a child with special needs and they needed a certain kind of therapy, maybe that helps. But
I
just a
mean,
regular
it would
everyday-
if we actually had any private schools in Iowa that catered to special needs children,
Never
but
mind.
they
I'm
are
gonna shut up
allowed
now.
to exclude them from their enrollment.
I'm going to be quiet.
No, that's okay. So that's actually a great point, because that's another thing, is that private schools are essentially allowed to discriminate what students that they will take. Like I said, I have ADD and I'm also dyslexic, and I went to a private Catholic school that had no programs to help people with learning disabilities. So I just kind of had to deal.
Oh no.
Which is probably why I did so poorly in math, but very good in reading. Because by the time I got to high school, I had, sufficiently worked with my dyslexia enough that I can typically read fairly quickly and comprehend what I'm reading.
Mhm.
My astigmatism also sometimes throws a wrench in that, because my
You're
eyes
blind
like to jump
too?
lines.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm blind. No, I do. Full disclosure, I do have garbage eyesight. I wear contacts, but I'm like a negative 9.5
Girl,
diopters.
listen.
Yeah, I come from a long line of very visually impaired people.
Every accommodation. I want them to get you a seat closest to the podium. I want them to give you a comfort animal. I want all of the things for you. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So I am, and I don't really think of myself as someone who has invisible disabilities, because on the whole, I can typically function like a normal, neurotypical, not disadvantaged person. So that's not really how I see myself. Technically, I guess it is true, but I've done a lot of work to make myself accommodate the world around me, which unfortunately people with far worse disabilities than me have had to do.
And it's not abnormal, it's just different.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one of the other horrible things about these voucher programs, is they're using public money. They can discriminate against students and say, no, you can't come here because you're blind, because you're mentally disabled, because XYZ reasons, and we can't accommodate you, and we have no interest in being able to. And, they'll say funding is the issue. I mean, my high school had a couple $1 million renovation the year after I graduated that was funded by a multimillionaire family in town. So sure, you have lack of funding.
Right.
Yeah. So it's extremely frustrating to me, because all of the arguments on why this is a good thing or a net benefit or, anything really fall flat if you do even like the tiniest amount of research on how these actually work. And the funding for our public schools is already so complicated. I actually went to a town hall where my incumbent was on the panel because
Gilbert.
Yes, Mr. Gilbeck. So because he used to be on the Waukee School Board before he was elected to the legislature. And also because he sits on the Education Appropriation Subcommittee. So he was on this panel. And they gave us a handout. And I wish I had it with me. It's upstairs somewhere. But they gave us like a flow chart of how the spending breaks down and how all of the money that they get has to go into specific buckets, and they can only spend the money in those buckets on specific items. So like, for example, for Waukee, it's a fairly wealthy suburb and it's expanding rapidly, but they actually have a lower per student allocation than almost any other school district in the Des Moines Metro, which I didn't know until I went to this meeting. And because and they are like, and most people don't know this because we have really nice buildings. And they do. They have put a lot of money into revamping, new builds, remodeling their school buildings. So they're really nice. But they're like, but we can't afford to give our teachers raises because the building money is in this bucket, and we can't use that bucket to pay for teachers. So they're like, at the same time that we have these pretty buildings, we are also have to cut the amount of teachers that we can have in our schools because we can't afford to pay them. So I'm like, I don't think that it should be that complicated to fund a school district. There has to be an easier, more streamlined way where they have the autonomy to take their whole budget and figure out how to allocate it properly. Because obviously, you know, what a school district like Waukee needs is going to be different than what Dallas Center Grimes needs. So I feel like,
and you can't say, you know, just increase funding and that'll make everything better.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's not a one size fits all thing. Right. And it's, you know, we really need to give our local governments and our school boards more autonomy and trust that they know how to spend the money smartly for their people. Because who's going to know better than the people who live there how they need to be doing this? And we elect them for a reason. Right. But we can't even get there if we're at $1 billion, you know, now this coming year, it'll be $1.3 billion going out of our school systems and funding public or private schools and charter schools, which are technically public schools in that they're funded by public money. And that's about where the comparison ends, but they're technically public schools.
Yeah, and it's the same thing in Ohio. They don't have to be answerable to the public, but they are public schools. But
no oversight, no regulation, no nothing. Yeah. So I think you asked what I would do about it. So let's talk about that. So number one, we need to give the state auditor the power to audit these programs, to find out where the money is going and how it is being spent, and strictly regulate where it is going and how it is being spent. We need to re-implement income caps that actually cap income so that, you know, the guise of, well, we're doing this so that lower income people can have access to better educational opportunities is actually true.
What do you think that should be? What should the cap be?
So I would have to look at all of the numbers because honestly, in my view, the way that the vouchers are right now needs to be eliminated, and something else that is more reasonable, a lower net cost to taxpayers, and something that actually has oversight and regulations that say, hey, if you want your private institution to be able to get public money, you need to have the same entrance requirements for enrollment as public schools. And if you don't, then you don't get this money. But I would say somewhere around or slightly below what the median income for a family in Iowa would be seems more reasonable, because again, we don't need to be giving people who already make an extremely comfortable living get a coupon to send their kids to a school that they were going to send them to regardless. And that's the biggest thing. But yeah, basically our voucher program is basically copied straight out of Project 2025. So I think that we Yeah, we need a complete revamp of how it's going to work if we're even going to do something like that at all.
Well, you said, I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was the state of Kentucky, the Supreme Court of Kentucky today said that public money, public tax money, is for public schools only, period. 100%. Can't go to anything else, which, yes, absolutely.
Exactly. And the thing is that if we adequately fund our public schools and we raise teacher pay and we can entice excellent educators and aides and all of the other people that you need in order to make a great atmosphere for learning, if we do that, people are going to be less inclined to want to send their kids to private school anyway, because most of the time it's, well, I don't think that the standards are up to snuff for what I want for my child.
Right.
But Iowa used to be, number one in education nationally.
Wow.
So, and now we're, down in the lower half in not a long time. We were still in the top 5 in 2018. So it's been a rapid decline in our education for our students. And it's not because we don't have great teachers, because we do. We have incredible, endlessly patient martyrs of teachers who are willing to put themselves through 100-hour work weeks to make 40 grand a year to try to teach our kids. And we need to show them a lot more love and support and appreciation than our current government is doing.
Wow. Annie, that's something. But I love the way you answered that. I love the way you explained that. I love the way you answered that. Wow.
It's something that I care a great deal about. So I'm glad that translated.
Yes, it did. Wow. My heart breaks for kids. I have 2 kids, and it education is so important. Even higher education is so important. But when the community isn't investing in the education or the healthcare needs of people, I can't do anything for this country if I'm unhealthy and I don't know nothing. I can't do anything for these people.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do anything for my community if I'm dumb and sick.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
absolutely.
That's how I feel. But So Annie, what are you doing in your free time? What's Annie like? What does Annie like to do? Hey, tell me about the Iowa State Fair. I didn't get to ask Aaron about this, but the Iowa State, how in the world, just like briefly, how did it get so popular? And Annie, do you get to go and be one of those politicians at the state fair who gets to talk to the people and
so I'll answer your last question first. Not as of yet.
Okay.
But once it gets closer to time, I may see if I can't smuggle a table or a booth in or something.
We gotta get you to the state fair, Annie.
Yes. But no, the state fair is a huge deal. I actually, full disclosure, I don't go super often now that I'm an adult because it's so hot and crowded.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like to be in my air conditioned house. But it is a very cool experience, especially if you've never been. It's so much bigger than you think it would be. The Varied Industries building is one of my favorites, not only because it's an air-conditioned building, which is a huge plus at the fair because those are few and far between. But they have different, they have tables with jacuzzi tub companies and car giveaways, and all of our state schools have tables where they give out swag bags, and they always sell these huge tubs of cookies that you can buy, which are incredible.
Listen, you ain't gonna tell me twice. A tub of cookies.
A tub of those popcorn tubs that you can get, but with cookies in it.
I know.
Yeah. Also, they do some crazy cool artistic and crafty things, which I always love. My mom is a quilter, and they always have these big quilting competitions. So you can go and look at all of the quilts that are just crazy impressive, and we have sand sculptures, and of course the butter cow that they do every year, but they do other things as well. Like once we had a butter Elvis, we've had a butter Last Supper. That was something. We had a butter Last Supper. That was several years ago. But yeah, they do crazy things with butter. Also, anything that you would ever even conceptualize of eating fried on a stick, or things that you would never think of eating fried on a stick.
I've heard about that. The deep fried
butter on a stick, not a myth.
What?
That's a real thing.
Have
I eaten it?
Like,
no.
This has to be like fresh churned butter, not like I got it from the store and I pulled it out.
Not like you got it from not like you got it from Aldi and you deep fried it.
Okay.
So I've never imbibed in that. I'm a big fan of the funnel cake and the corn dogs myself.
Oh, I love funnel cakes. Oh.
Yeah. Also, we always have a concert series during the fair. We've had Slipknot there, Iowa natives. We've had
Ron
think last year we had
been there.
Yeah. We've had Pitbull. My parents are big Crosby, Stills, and Nash fans, so I went and saw them once at the fair. But no, it's a really fun time if it wasn't 1,000 degrees. But
like
actually in my
but I feel like that's part of the whole thing, though. It has to be really hot because people obviously don't want to come out when it's cold,
Yeah. Because it's around my birthday, so it's in August, right before school starts. So it's like the hottest part of the year in Iowa that we have our fair. But when I was a kid in choir, my choir used to perform at the fair as well. We were usually on the A&E stage, and we would do concerts at the fair in khaki pants and navy polos when it was 110 degrees.
Oh no. Well, you got to keep it modest, Annie. You got to dress modest.
Yes, exactly. If one kid passes out in the back, it's fine. Which never happened at the fair, but it did happen at a grand opening of our mall once. We performed at the grand opening of Jordan Creek Mall, which was actually one of the only malls still in town that has robust business, and it opened in 2005. So we sang for the opening, and we were singing outside. There's like a little like walking path around a pond type of situation, and it was really hot, and one of the kids passed out.
What song do you sing for the opening of a mall?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember. Because we had repertoire every year. So we would like learn the same songs and perform them for the entire year. So I don't even remember. Most of them weren't in English. I can tell you that though.
Oh, so you were singing some German song for the opening of a mall?
Usually, So one of the best things about choir, and I'm sorry that I'm so tangenty, but
okay.
One of my favorite things was that we learned music from all over the world. So like I've sung in Japanese, I've sung in Korean, German, Basque, Spanish, Portuguese, Latin, obvi, because religious music is all in Latin.
Right, of course.
But yeah, so like it was very, very cool. And also we would, go to international festivals, and Des Moines Children's Choruses actually hosted. We had our own international choir festival that we hosted every 2 years, I want to say, back in the 90s and the early 2000s. And so like I got to meet kids from China and Norway and South Africa and Germany, it was one of the best experiences of my life to be in choir, because I got exposed to so many different cultures. It was very,
and
very
that's
cool.
what education should be like in the United States.
Yes.
The education you had just from being in the choir, that's what it should be like. Mm-hmm. You should be exposed to different cultures, languages, different ethnicities and things, because sometimes people don't make it out of their community. They don't make it out of the state that they live in. And so when you can have an experience like that, we should be encouraging that versus, don't speak Spanish at my Super Bowl. Don't sing in your native language at my Super Bowl. ridiculous stuff.
And let me in on a little secret. I'll let you in on a little secret about international kids. They're kids. We all liked to trade pins and play on pogo sticks and do clapping games and play cards. And those things are universal. And if you never have the opportunity to step outside of your own ecosystem, you never get to learn that. And I think that that's something not just in Iowa, but nationally that we're seeing a lot is fear of the unknown, and your culture is different. So that's scary to me. And
Right.
it's really not. People are just people. And I think that we need to, that's something that we need to remind ourselves of, because there's been so much othering and so much, if you're not white and straight and Christian, you're on the outs. And not only do I think that's extremely dangerous, but I think it's a disservice to everyone, because different cultures are so rich and you can learn so many things, and your empathy grows, and
Correct.
you just get all of these different experiences. And it's sad when people don't have those opportunities, even if it's just, watching a foreign film or going to Canada. Even I went to Canada. You know what I learned about Canada? If you're a lost tourist, someone will help you find your hotel. That's what I learned in Canada.
Why would they do that? Why would they ever do something like that?
So it's just really important to me, and it makes me so sad that so many people are afraid of anything that they're not familiar with, that they react with anger and with violence instead of with an open mind, an open heart, and a willingness to learn about something that's different than what they know.
I agree. I totally agree. And Annie, look, we have 10 minutes left. So I'm going to pack as much as I possibly can into those 10 minutes. What would success look like for District 46 4 years from now if you win?
Oh, gosh. I would say more small businesses, better economic growth, higher wages, revamping our education system, and making my district a place that people want to move to and raise their families.
Okay. So you're quick. You're quick, Annie. But can you answer these rapid fire questions quickly?
Let's see.
Okay.
All right.
Should the state send more infrastructure dollars to fast-growing suburbs like Grimes? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Local control or state oversight when it comes to schools?
Local control.
You answered all of those. Please, you're quick. Iowa's
See, my tangents are good.
Right. Iowa's flat income tax, long-term win or long-term risk?
Long-term risk.
Okay. Restore gender identity to the Civil Rights Code, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I can't ask you that question right there. There's some words TikTok does not like to hear,
Yes.
But
do we need to sub them with code words like lettuce or something?
Well, it was about the 6-week AB ban. Keep, modify, or repeal.
Repeal.
Okay. All right. See how easy that was? I got to give people more opportunities to just do the things. Okay. If revenue drops in a downturn, should we cut spending or pause tax cuts?
Pause tax cuts.
Okay. Should Iowa build a larger rainy day fund?
Ooh. At this point in time, I would say no.
Okay.
At this point in time.
At this point in time, yes. Would you ever vote against your party leadership? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Biggest workforce barrier in District 46, housing, childcare, or wages?
Childcare.
Okay. Should your district or your state invest more in mental health services? Yes or no?
That's a 100% hell yes.
Okay. One measurable outcome you want by the end. Oh, we already answered that. Please, come on now. Let's see what else we got. What else? What else? What else? What else can I hit her with? Come on, come on. The current seat holder votes consistently with the Republican majority. Name one vote he cast you would have voted differently on and explain why. This should be easy. Very easy.
It's hard to pick just one. I'm going to say vouchers.
All right, there you go. Vouchers.
Yes.
Let's see. What else? We got like 6 minutes. Listen, I just be up here talking to people and I forget that I have to ask them questions.
I've been having a blast. I don't know about you.
I am. That's the problem. That's why they don't let me do this often. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, I guess we can talk about the ICE.
Yes.
How is that impacting your state? And do you agree with what's happening, or what would you do differently if you were in state government? When you get to state government,
now that is a big question.
Yes.
Since we're short on time, I'll try to keep it brief. So ice cubes, as they're known on Reddit, not great. We haven't seen as much activity as, say, I'll just pick a random city, Minneapolis or something. Not something like that.
Yeah.
But we do have, and one of my sisters works for Des Moines Public Schools. Part of the reason that I'm so passionate about schools, and her son wants to be a history professor.
Oh, good luck, little buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a full scholarship almost to Simpson College, which is quite impressive.
Wow,
so I'm very, very proud of my
congratulations.
nephew and godson.
Oh,
So shout out to Sean. Yeah, so she has had students stay home. She has had students crying in her classroom, worried that their parents won't be there when they get home. Obviously, there was, a lot in the news about our former superintendent, who seemed like a great guy, but we found out later that maybe wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But she was at school that day that he got taken in, and the amount of fear in the students and the parents, it was just incredibly heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I don't think that kids should be afraid to go to school, and that people should be afraid to go to work because they're brown, or they speak Spanish, or they have an accent, or whatever other immutable characteristics that they have that makes them illegal criminals, which I heard a Republican representative, not mine, say in a committee meeting with the Des Moines Public Schools, where we could clearly see that he wanted to say something else, but he stuck with illegal criminals. I think he wanted to say a different word, that maybe started with, I don't know, like an N like Nancy, but I can't speak to that. Yeah. That's at least how it came across to me.
Yeah.
I don't think that local law enforcement should be cooperating with a Gestapo that has immunity, apparently. That didn't work great in Germany. The "I'm just doing my job" defense didn't hold up. So I think that some of our Ice Cube agents should remember that when they think that they're invincible, because you're only invincible for a short time.
Correct.
And then the hammer's going to come down. So, I don't want to see anything like what's happening in other cities happen in Iowa, in Des Moines, in my district, because our entire nation was founded on being a melting pot and being a nation of immigrants, and pretending that we don't need immigrants, and that all minority communities are immigrants, because they're not. Spoiler alert, people who aren't white are born in America every single day.
I was.
But it just pretending that we don't need these people, we don't want these people, and that they're not a net benefit to our nation is just the height of hubris. And it's already, causing economic strife. It's causing strife in communities. It's causing violence. It's causing unneeded deaths. We have concentration camps in America now. I am against all of it, we'll say. That was a longer answer than I wanted to give, but again,
I totally agree with you.
I get fired up.
It's okay. I understand. Yeah. It's something to get fired up about. And you know what? Yes. In these give me 1 minute and convince me why I, a person who does not live in your state, but if I did, and I lived in your district, why I should vote for you for the House of Representatives, for Iowa House of Representatives.
Yes. So I am a populist progressive. I am a secular humanist. My morality and politics are the same. I don't vote against my conscience. I say it like it is. You might not disagree with me, or you might not agree with me, and that's okay. I'm always open to a discussion. I'm always open to a debate. And I change my views when I am presented with factual information that disagrees with my preconceived notions, because I think that learning and growing is a lifelong process. And I think that is something that we need in our leadership, because if you believe that you know everything and that you're always right, you're not a good leader.
And there you have it, Iowa, District 46, Annie Craven. Ladies and gentlemen, what more could you ask for? I know you still got to vote. Whatever. You did choices, pro-choice, okay. Yes. But let the people know where they can find you and how they can support your campaign, because I know you're grassroots, honey, and I know you need the money.
I am.
I know you do.
I need money. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to say it, but I do. I am Craven for Change. So my last name, Craven, 4, change.com, on TikTok, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, and Instagram. If you Google my name, Annie Craven, and Act Blue, my donation link pops right up. It's also on my website. It's also on my socials. $1, $5, $10 goes a hugely long way. My opponent will have endless funding to try to beat me in this race. So I need your support, because I'm not taking any corporate PAC money.
Annie is going to put an end to the derechos, you guys. No more derechos. Right, yes. If Annie wins, no more derechos. None.
And especially not on my birthday.
Yeah. Yep. And don't fact check that. Do not fact check that, please.
Don't clip this later and use it against me.
So much for joining us. This has been wonderful.
Thank you.
This has been
I have had such a good time. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so glad. We probably had too much fun, and I'm going to get yelled at afterward. It's fun.
I definitely did.
You see these shoulders? I carry the weight of the world here. The weight of the world.
I feel that. I feel it.
No, thank you, and thank you to the audience, and thank you to the people who showed up to hear Annie's platform and to listen to us go back and forth and laugh and giggle and try to solve the problems of Iowa in an hour and a half. Looking ahead to our next event, we will be back here tomorrow, Saturday, February 21st at 6:00 p.m. hosting Jordan Brown, who is running for San Antonio, Texas's House District 120, and then followed by Sam Lux, our first Montana candidate, who is running for Montana's U.S. House of Representatives out of the 2nd District. Again, we're starting at 6:00. It will be a doubleheader. As usual, come for the candidates, stay for the charming moderator. Yes, I'll be back. I will be. I'll be here for both of them. And thank you all so much for being here. To Annie, thank you again. And say thank you to Ryan for us. Is Ryan still here? Thank you, Ryan.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us borrow Annie for an hour and a half.
He is a great sport about this whole thing, and
Aw.
I could not do it without his support.
That is
So
awesome.
yes,
That's
he is a gem.
awesome. Oh, see, he said, "Oh yeah, thank you, Ryan." Again, my name is
And
Ayana.
thank you to all the 61,000 people who liked this stream. That's very encouraging.
Yay! Yes. It is. Oh, he has the cat now. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Yep.
But
Mika likes to hang out with him. He's his gaming buddy.
Oh, is he? Oh, see, that's why he's a little chubby. You might want to take the cat for a little walk outside. None of my business. None of my business. I'm Ayana.
He's a little chonk, but we love him.
I'm Ayana. This is OVC, Our Vote Counts, a nonpartisan movement uniting Americans from all walks of life to empower voters, support candidates of integrity like Annie, and ensure every voice is heard. Through education, outreach, accountability, and action, we're building a stronger democracy, one informed vote at a time. We thank you again for joining us. Remember, your vote is your power. Everyone have a good evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.